Back when I was working as a cop on a military base, I loved working the night shift. It meant I didn't have to deal with 99% of the bullshit that the day shift cops had to do. And the stuff that we did was usually really interesting. Almost every base on the building has an alarm, and all the alarm systems are tied right into the desk, so we know the instant they go off. When we get an alarm activation, we close the base and go check the building. We pull on all the doors and see if we can get in. If we can, we go into the building and secure it. Check all the doors and corners to see if someone set the alarm off. Well, one night I was on patrol with my partner, and we get called to respond to an alarm activation in the elementary school. So we go. We secure the building and call in that the building is secure. No problem. Keep patrolling. About 15 to 20 minutes later, we get another alarm activation from the same school. So we get back out there and check it out. Now, there's a maintenance door open that leads to the boiler room. Nothing and no one in it. So we close it, lock it, and get out. Another 20 minutes pass, and again, another alarm has gone off. Things are getting weird now. We respond and all the doors are still locked and we can't get in. Maintenance door is locked, so we call in the all clear. As things are getting pretty freaky, my buddy and I go sit on opposite sides of the school to watch and see if someone is coming in yanking on the doors really hard to set the alarm off. We sit there watching. Nothing happens. And right as we're about to leave, another alarm activation, as we're sitting there, goes off. We inform the desk that we'd like the building manager on site to help us secure the interior and let us in, bearing in mind this is about 3 AM. So a little while later the building custodian shows up and we start doing a walkthrough, checking all the classrooms and checking all the maintenance rooms. And that's when we see one of the maintenance doors open with lights on in the room. Now this room is literally the size of a closet. We walk down there and look in. No one in there. And the door is locked when it closes. We look in there and find a single footprint of a bare foot made of water. It looks like the footprint of a small child. It absolutely freaked the living hell out of us, because no one reported a missing child in the entire building, and that place was cleared and locked up. No one left, no one entered, and we checked every inch of that damn place. Literally a 3-hour deep sweep, including ceiling tiles. Freaked the ever-loving shit out of us to this day. My partner refuses to go to that school, and I don't blame him. My uncle was the sheriff of a small town in New Mexico. He was the most hardcore person in our family, super straight-laced and never bullshitted and was not a joker. So when he told this story, which my aunt backed up, we all believed it without question. A local reporter named Bob D would always show up at any major police activity from the police scanner. Big car wrecks, fires, anything worth maybe reporting in the local paper. Everybody on the force knew Bob. He was around at least 2 or 3 times a week at various police activities. Bob was a bit of a joker himself. He would always mess with people, flicking behind their ears. People would react to the flicks, thinking it was a bug, only to turn and see it was Bob jerking around. Everyone liked Bob though, but unfortunately, Bob had bad lung cancer and died pretty suddenly. His wife buried him against his wishes as he wanted to be cremated, and for the next couple of weeks after his funeral, people kept talking about seeing Bob at car wrecks, fires, and all the same stuff that he used to report on. There were at least 20 to 30 reports like this from civilians and members of the force, but my uncle didn't buy it. Until the night that he and my aunt showed up at our house gun drawn, pale as paper. We asked him what the hell happened, and he had to sit down, take a breath and compose himself, and started to outline the events. Bear in mind, this is a guy I never saw get rattled by anything. He said that he and my aunt were sitting on the couch in their house watching TV. My uncle kept scratching his ear, over and over. Finally, my aunt asked him what the problem was, and he turned around just in time to see their bedroom door open. Bob D was standing in the doorway, clear as day. My uncle jumped up, cursed, and got my aunt's attention immediately, who turned to see who was there as well. As soon as they both made eye contact with Bob, he smiled, turned, and walked across the living room and out of their front door, closed the door behind himself and was gone. My uncle got control of himself and ran outside, gun drawn, looking for Bob, but he was gone. At that point they ran over to our place. We went over there and we couldn't see anything, but my auntie and uncle stayed at our place that night. They were absolutely terrified. At work the next day, all the guys on the force were giving my uncle a lot of "we told you so." People around town said that they saw Bob D show up at police scenes for at least another 2-3 months. My dad saw him in our darkroom in our basement with a friend. He was flicking their ears in the dark. During the 3rd month, people that saw him kept saying that he was looking worse and worse. My uncle saw him 2 more times, each time confirming he was looking more and more worn. My dad concluded that he was decomposing, and even his ghost was reflecting this process. Every time my ear itches, I get goosebumps. My auntie recently retired from the Baltimore City Police Department. She told us a story about the house of Edgar Allan Poe. They got a call from dispatch about the alarm being set off, and they arrived to find everything buttoned up tight, but clearly hear a commotion inside. Within about 5 minutes, the manager shows up to let them in, just to check, because they clearly heard noises coming from within. As soon as they go inside, they hear banging on the upper floors. But they clear the house, and there's nothing. The manager said that because of a shortfall in donations, as this was before they were declared a historic landmark, they had no phone service nor an active alarm, so he was a bit freaked out when the alarm company called him and said they had gotten a notification of the motion detectors going off, and so the police had been called. My auntie said that until a year ago, that's when she retired, every so often they would get a call to 911 from the address, with just 0 showing up on the computer where the phone number should be, but showing the address and nothing but silence on the line. They'd always send a rookie out to go check, but she was always incredibly freaked out, because when you hear things and see nothing, it's a weird experience. Okay guys, so this last story is a bit more of comic relief than anything, but I still think you'll enjoy it, so keep listening. My mum was a police officer, and she tells the story of an old woman who called the police almost weekly, complaining that there was a ghost in her house. They'd go in to check, and they'd tell her that they couldn't find anything. One day, one of the guys on her squad gets dispatched to this lady's house. He goes in and worriedly asks the lady if she has a 2-litre bottle. She nods back solemnly with wide eyes and empties out a Coke bottle she had. "Ma'am, I'm going to have to ask you to wait outside. It could get messy." She runs outside to the front porch. The copper then proceeds to walk upstairs, light up a cigarette, and blow the smoke into the 2-litre bottle. He chills for a minute or two and then comes running out of the house triumphantly, holding up the smoke-filled bottle screaming, "I've got the ghost! I've got the ghost!" He threw it in the back of his Crown Vic and sped off. They never got a call from that lady again. Hey guys, it's Mort here and thank you so much for listening. I hoped you liked the 4th story. I found it really funny when I read it and I had to share it with you guys. Just to give you an update, the Skinwalker video is coming very soon, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And if you enjoyed the stories, remember to smash that like button, subscribe, and maybe share this video with a friend, because sharing is caring. If you have a story that you wish to submit, you can send it over to my email, which can be found in the description below, to have it featured in a future video. Just remember to say that you give me your consent to use it though. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter for updates and behind the scenes. But anyway, for now guys, I'm going to sign off. Stay awesome, and I'll catch you in the next one. I should explain to you that it was the shorter one of these 2 men that appeared to have a 9mm pistol, but I could be wrong about the caliber, but it was unmistakably a pistol, hanging slightly out of the opening between his jacket pocket and the front. However, that wasn't even our main concern. He slung around a large knife with his head, almost as if he would forgotten it was there. It was just so casual. It wasn't a pocket knife, it was too large to be. It looked like one of those really large 9 to 10 inch